But I am your girl, Lady Mo, Minister Mo, Miss Mo, whatever you need me to be. But today I just come humble. As we get ready to close out the month of July, you already know we had some amazing words, amazing preaching and teaching that came off. And if you've been in the 2 months of prayer, just wave at me. If it's been blessing you, give God a hand clap of praise. If it has been shifting and dealing with you in certain areas, go ahead and tell God thank you. So as we close out this month, I want to do a quick recap. Pastor kicked off the month of July with the power of prayer. Minister Lisa came through with, who can I run to? PMA then followed up with part 2 from Friday Night Fire, with the fire that moves you. Now I want you to think about the last time you filled out a piece of paper. Paperwork, that is. Whether it was starting a new job, checking into a hospital, or filling out a form for your kids. There is always a mandatory box there at the bottom that you cannot skip. It asks for your emergency contact. We all have these names typed into our phones and etched into our memory. Your emergency contact is that one person you trust with your life. It's the person who will answer the phone at 3 a.m. It's the person who won't panic when we're in a panic. 2 weeks ago, Minister Lisa stood at this exact same altar and asked the house a critical question. Who can I run to? It was a powerful word. It checked our hearts. It made us look at our patterns. I came here today to close out the month of July as the Holy Spirit told me that somebody in this room and maybe online didn't answer that question honestly. You didn't answer it because you were too ashamed to admit where you were at. You see, it's easy to say, I run to Jesus when life is smooth. But what happens when life crashes? What happens when your marriage hits a wall? Your mind is under siege. Your emotions is emotional stability flatlines. What happened when you flatline? Beep, boop, boop, boop. What happened in the middle of those moments when everything seems to come to an end? In the year 2000, Wyclef Jean and Mary J. Blige dropped a secular song that gripped the airwaves. The hook screams, someone please call 911. Tell them I just got shot down. And it's piercing through my soul. You see, we are living in a generation of hidden casualties. The pews are full of people who are bleeding out in secret. We smile during praise and worship, but our spirit is flashing red. You see, I don't know, Minister Lisa came up here and she sung the song, but some of you barely clapped your hands, you barely stomped your feet, you barely gave God a thank you. Because you are in a spiritual deficit. We clapped our hands, but our peace is on life support. We are in a spiritual crisis, and the inner chambers of our hearts are screaming, someone please call 911. I didn't come to dial an ambulance. I came to tell you that long before America established a 911 dispatch system, the kingdom of heaven established a spiritual emergency hotline. And today, your rescue isn't coming from a hospital. It's coming from Psalms 91:1. If this is your first time joining us here, it is the custom to stand for the reading of God's word. For all those that are able to stand. I will be reading from Psalms 91:1 and 2, and jumping down to 11 from two different versions. In New King James Version and the NIV. When you have it, say, I got it. If you need help, say, hold up. If not, you can look to my right, your left. And it's in the app. Here we go. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadows of the Almighty. 2, I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge, my fortress, my God, in him will I trust. 11, for he shall give his angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways. The NIV states, whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest. Say rest. Say rest. Because we getting ready to go into what month? All right, here we go. In the shadow of the Almighty. 2, I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in him whom I trust. 11, for he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. Father God, I come to you as humble as I know how, just to say thank you. I thank you for waking us up this morning and starting us on our way. But I ask that you allow me to decrease so that you can increase, so that your people are saved, set free, healed, and delivered. And you get the glory out of me and my assignment. You may be seated. Turn to your elbow partner and let them to the left and to the right of you and tell them the title of this assignment is, someone please call 911. It's an emergency. Before we unpack this, we need to understand the weight of the dispatch line. We are dialing today. If you look at the Bibles in Psalm 91:1, the translator has wrestled with how to write or how to end that first verse. If you are reading the New King James Version, it says, you shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. The word abide is an active word. It means continuous, intentional, active, remaining. It tells us that we can't just visit God when things are bad. We must actively stand our ground in his presence. But if you're looking over at the NIV version, the translator chose a different word. The NIV says he who dwells in the shadow of the Almighty will rest. Say rest. The word rest brings a different shift to the atmosphere. It completes the shift. It implies absolute peace, stillness, and total security. It means the panic has stopped, the adrenaline has dropped, and you are safe in his arms. So which translation is right, Minister Mo? Is it an active remaining or is it peaceful resting? You already know, say it with me. I'm glad you asked. Both of them are correct. When you look at the original Hebrew text, both of these words are translating one powerful prophetic verb, tulum, and which literally means large, to stay overnight, or to make your dwelling place. I see most of you don't know when to give God a hand clap of praise. Depending on what you are going through, you can go to the same scripture for two different storms. Your life to chill for the night and or to make your home. My God, today you see when life hits a cold red, the nights get completely dark. The world expects you to wander in the darkness, lose your mind, and bleed out. But God says, no, my child. My brothers and sisters, when the emergency night comes, you don't check into the hospital, you check into my presence. You lodge with me. You spend the night in the safety house of the Most High. I come to tell you, Ahab, that why we can have both, because we are actively remaining in his house, so we can have peaceful rest while the storm rages outside. I don't know about you, but these last couple of weeks and these last couple of months, storms have been going off in my life. I don't know how many can identify and testify, but storms are happening right now in somebody else's life. Somebody walked in here this morning and got a phone call about a storm taking place as they came to church to give God a hand clap of praise. Somebody battled the storm last night where they don't know if they're coming or going. Storms are going to happen. Storms. They're happening even right now. Now, to truly understand the urgency of the 911 call, we have to look at the context of who is dialing the phone. While the book of Psalm is often associated with King David, ancient Jewish tradition and many biblical scholar teachers teaches us that this specific psalm was actually composed by Moses. Think about the context of the speaker. Moses spent 40 years leading over 1 million of people through a habitual, shifting, unpredictable wilderness. He wasn't speaking to people sitting in cushioned pews, sitting in the air condition, driving nice cars, eating what they want, going out for lunch, breakfast, and dinner. He was speaking to the nomadic people who was living in temporary tents. See, I don't think y'all understand what I said. He wasn't talking to people like you and I. He was talking about the people that's begging for bread. He was talking to the people who's asking people for money on the street. He was talking to people that was going from shelter to shelter, from pillow to post. He wasn't talking to us. He was talking to them. He was speaking to an audience that was constantly exposed to the desert heat. We have air. They was exposed to venomous scorpions, deadly diseases, and sudden enemy ambushes. Moses looks at a people who have no permanent address, no stone walls, no military fortress to hide behind. And what he is talking to them about, he is talking to them about security. Moses stands outside the tent in the middle of the barren desert, looks at Israel and say, listen to me. You think you are vulnerable because you live in a cloth tent? You think you are exposed because you don't have brick fortress? But I am here to tell you that your real security isn't in your tent. It's not in the house. It's not in the job. It's not in the car. It's not in the relationship. It's not in those bills. It's not in the cigarettes. It's not in the vape. It's not in the weed. It's not in all of the things. I don't know about you, but I'm talking about myself. He said, it is in God, in the God you dwell in. If you make the Most High your habitation, 1,000 may fall at your side, but 10,000 at your right hand, but they will not touch your tent. That's a good place to shout. I don't know who that's for, but I need you to get up on your hands and on your feet and give God a clap of praise. He said they're gonna fall, but it's not gonna touch your house. It's not gonna touch your kids. It's not gonna touch your marriage. It's not gonna touch your mind. It's not gonna touch your tent. Which brings me to my first point. You have to admit your wounds. You have to admit them. You know, when you go to the hospital, the first place you go is to triage. You got to go, get checked in, and take the vitals, right? They ask you what's going on. You got to admit what is the problem. What is wrong? How can we help you? Psalm 91:1 states, he who dwells in the secret place of the Most High. Dwell. Ahab, the hardest part of the 911 dispatcher's job isn't sending the ambulance. The hardest part is getting the person on the phone to tell them exactly where the bleeding is coming from. Because when panic sets in, we tend to scream about the chaos around us instead of checking the condition inside of us. We live in a culture that values fake deep over real broken. We have mastered the art of camouflage. We know how to put on the armor of a praise leader, the robe of an usher, the title of a minister, while secretly wearing a spiritual tunic underneath our clothes. We come to church and tell everyone, I am blessed and highly favored, while our peace of mind is flatlining. Your spiritual is flatlining. You're dying right here in these seats. But you came in here dressed like everything was all right. I came to tell you I'm trying to keep it together because I'm not all right. So if I'm not all right, and it say it start from the head and it flows down to the body, I know y'all not all right. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna get back. But look at the text. Moses says, you have to dwell in the secret place. Why does God want you in the secret place? I'm glad you asked. Because the secret place is the room where you don't have to perform. The secret place is the room where you don't have to perform. The secret place is the room where you can take off the mask, unzip the Sunday suit, drop your posture, and say, Lord, I am hurting. Lord, I am bitter. Lord, I got shot down by life, and it is piercing straight through my soul. You cannot be healed from the wound you refuse to show the doctor. Your breakthrough doesn't start when you look perfect. It starts when you get vulnerable enough to dial the number to the line and say, emergency personnel, I need help. How many of you will shake your hand and wave? I know you don't want people in your business, but that's our problem. I need help. And in this season of my life, as I'm learning something new every day, I am learning to tell people, I need help. Can you help me? I'm out of gas. I don't have it. My capacity is at its max. My cup runneth over, but not over in a good way. It's running over because I'm sitting here trying to toggle all of these things, and I got 11 tabs open, and I'm trying to keep work here and church there and kids here and me here, and I need help. I don't know about you, but tell your neighbor, I need help. And it's okay. Because we're in a place where what? We are loved and accepted, not judged and rejected. I don't know about you online, but if you need help, just type help in the chat. Help, help, help. I need help. Financial help. I need a job. Can somebody put me in a direction? Can somebody show me where I can go to get a trade? What free resources is out? Who do I call? Who do I run to? As Minister Lisa said. Which brings me to my second point. Disconnect from the world. Psalms 91:2. I will say of the Lord, He is my fortress. He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him I will trust. You see, my second point is real simple, but it will save your life. You have to disconnect from the world. You see, when a worldly crisis hits, our muscle memory tends to dial the worldly number. We pick up the phone. Yeah, they got me messed up. See who I could call. Oh, yeah, she ain't got to work today. She got time today. And we on the phone to gossip. Yeah, let me tell you, because girl, and I know, oh, girl, you should go over there and you. Gossip. We pick up the phone of gossip. We dial the number, the hotline of validation. You like this? I look good? What you think? No? I don't look right? You don't like it? All right, I'm not going to go. Well, why you didn't come? Because they said I didn't look. I didn't look the part. So I decided not to show up. Validation. We dialed the hotline of temporary pleasures, toxic relationships, old habits. I told y'all, I thought about them. I thought about it, but I didn't. But I just want you to know in real life, it's a real thought. And it's just as easy as I was able to get my hands on it, I could dial a number of temporary pleasure, a toxic relationship, old habits that I said God has delivered me from. But I got my hands on a fresh pack, ain't been open. But what happened to this one in this box? I could. This is Minister Mo. I could. But then I think about the goodness of God and all he's done for me. I decide we're going to wait another week. We'll come. It might knock on my door again. I'm not going to, but we going to wait. But I'm not telling you that as if I don't have another vice, because I would be lying. But what I'm saying is this one no longer has me. But if you know anything about temptation from your old life, old things are passed away. But every now and again, it rises up. I just came to tell you the truth. Every day I could go buy me a new. How much are loose leaves running nowadays? $2? $2.50 for one? Like, I may as well go buy a pack for $20. But that's my struggle. So for that, I have to, we're not going to do that. And my friends be like, girl, you ain't going to buy. That's why I constantly say it out loud. Because I know I have a community of people at work. Girl, you're not going to buy them cigarettes. Them cigarettes is high. You're right, I'm not. And the thought, it immediately is gone. Boop, be gone. But that's why I say it out loud. Because we overcome by right? Toxic relationships, old habits that God have already delivered us from years ago. We keep trying to call the past to fix a present emergency. I'm calling my past to fix my present emergency. My past. To fix something that they ain't been around. This was in 2019. It is 2026. I am calling, hey Newport, what you doing? To fix my current emergency. But I come to tell somebody that when you decide to make the Lord your refuge, you have to cut the cord to your old coping mechanisms. You have to change your spiritual number. We need to get to a place in God where when the enemy tries to core your line with anxiety, when depression tries to core your line with fear, when your past tries to core your line with shame, they don't get a ring. They don't even get a voicemail. Instead, this is what they get.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number and try your call again.
That's a good place to shout because I don't know what you need to tell. Do-do-do. The number you have reached is temporarily disconnected. I no longer need you. I no longer have to have you. It's temporarily disconnected. It's disconnected. Fear is disconnected. Your finance is disconnected. That relate is disconnected. I know you might be lonely, but you're never alone. I know your heart is broken, but he said he is close to the brokenhearted. Remember that. Do-do-do. The number you, and you back there, and you are all, those numbers are disconnected. Even when you feel it rising up, I need you to go back to Psalms and read the whole song. Pastor, can we put that in a book? Like, can we just read, just every day, read the whole thing? It will do something to you. Adopt that into your every morning after the prayer call. Get up in the morning or before if you rise early, but get up and read it. And don't read it to read it for understanding. Psalm, the first part, he who dwells in the secret place. Like that alone. I promise you, it'll bless your life. Pastor always said, give me Bible, it will read you. Well, you listen. It will read you from the inside out. So tell your neighbor, I'm disconnected. Tell your other neighbor, I have been disconnected. The old depression, disconnected. The old addiction, disconnected. That need for people, disconnected. Approval, disconnected. Imposter syndrome, disconnected. Fear, disconnected. Shame, disconnected. Guilt, disconnected. Doubt, disconnected. I'm disconnected. Insecurity, disconnected. Not enough, I'm disconnected. You're disconnected. You're disconnected. Moses said, I'm getting up out your way. Moses said, I will say of the Lord, he is my fortress. When you are inside the fortress of God, the world cannot reach you anymore. The line has been completely disconnected. Which brings me to my final point. After you have admitted your wounds, then you have disconnected from the world, because at this point, 9 chances out of 10, you're in the hospital. And we're going to pretend for this moment you couldn't get no phone because they didn't have any. And because you had an emergency, they took your cell phone and they're going to bring it back. So you're really disconnected. While you are in the hospital, you admitted your wounds, you got checked out, you disconnected because now they done placed you in your room. You have to answer the dispatch. Psalm 91:11 says, for he shall give his angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways. When you dial 911 in the natural, the operator stays on the line, but they dispatch a vehicle loaded with specific equipment. They don't send a standard car, they send an emergency unit packed with oxygen, heart monitors, and medicine. But when we dial Psalms 91:1, the kingdom of heaven dispatches a supernatural response team straight to your address. And God doesn't just come empty-handed. He pulls up to the crisis and introduces himself by the specific names that matches your emergency. So you mean to tell me our emergency not the same? Absolutely. So he's coming with a specific name that matches your emergency. When the ambulance of his grace arrives and finds you completely isolated, lonely, and feeling left behind, but everyone else, he steps out of the truck and says, don't panic. Jehovah Shammah is on the scene. The Lord is right here in the room with you. When he checks your vitals and see that your heart has been shattered by betrayal, trauma, and rejection, he reaches into his medical bag. He reaches and declares, I am Jehovah Rapha, the Lord who heals. I am binding up the internal bleeding right now. When the enemy tries to ambush you while you're down trying to finish, he's trying to finish you off with shame. God steps in front of your body, lifts up his shield and screams, not today, not today, not today. I am Jehovah Nissi, the Lord our victory banner. The battle belongs to me. When the crisis has drained your energy, your patience, your strength, and you lick up and say, Lord, I have nothing left, he hands you supernatural IV and strength, and he whispers, I am El Shaddai, the all-sufficient, all-powerful God. My grace is made perfect in your weakness. I don't know what you got going on, but he came to tell you that his strength, your weakness, he got you. Ahab, we don't have to die in the ambulance because the dispatch has arrived. The names of God are active over our life. Open your mouth, answer the dispatch, and claim your healing today. I stopped by just to remind just 8, I'm gonna get out your way, of you that when you think God is done, he's still unpacking the truck. That was mine. And he said, that was mine. You thought that's all I had for you? He said, I got more. He said, I have more. He looks at the severity of your situation and dispatches even more dimensions of his character to ensure our total survival. When the crisis has completely wrecked our stability and our minds are spinning out of control with panic attacks, anxiety, and midnight terror, the great physician wraps a blanket of serenity around your shoulders and says, breathe. I am Jehovah Shalom, the Lord your peace. Judges 6:24. So Gideon built an altar there to the Lord and called it, the Lord is peace. When the enemy tries to drag your name through the mud using your past mistakes and or lies of people to convict you in the court of public opinion, God steps in as your defense attorney and declares, step back, I'm Jehovah Tiskanu, the Lord of our righteousness. I clear your record and cover you in my purity. Jeremiah 23:6. And this is his name by which he will be called, the Lord our righteousness. When you look at the damage the storm has caused, lost time, stolen joy, ruined relationships, and you think you lost it all, my God looks at the wreckage and says, I'm Jehovah Jireh. I told you, the Lord your provider. I don't just patch up what's left. I supply everything you need to rebuild bigger and better before. Genesis 22:14, and Abraham called the name of the place, the Lord will provide. And when you feel completely defenseless, like a sitting duck for the enemy's next attack, a roar goes off in the spirit realm, because the captain of the angel army stands over your life and declares, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. I'm Jehovah Sabbath, the Lord of hosts, the commander of heaven's armies. 1 Samuel 1:11. Then she made a vow and said, O Lord of hosts. As we look at the spiritual natural dispatch system of heaven, if you need peace, dial Shalom. If you need a provider, dial Jireh. If you need a healer, dial Rapha. If you need an army to back you up, dial Sabbath. Every single name is a direct line to specific deliverance, your emergency contacts. So you don't have to flatline on the stretcher. You don't have to. You don't have to have that beep, boop, 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 boop. You don't have to. You don't have to flatline, because the great physician is in the building. The sirens are screaming victory, and your rescue is taking place right now. I don't know who needs to hear this, but playing softly, I'm done. The altar is now open, because some of y'all needed to dial the 911. Someone, please call 911.